Not Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And welcome to it. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. If you'd like to get in touch with us during the course of the day, we welcome Mr. Clean again today, who about 40 years ago just let himself go. Stopped working out, started eating whatever he wanted, and now you see the result.
Hello.
That's why you don't wear the muscle-hugging T-shirts anymore, right?
Well, I do.
You do?
I do.
Okay, I don't want to see that.
I was told by
people
here I should wear my white T-shirt and the hoop earring. That could be the new Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
I might pull that off, actually.
The new 2021 Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
When America's gone to hell and so has Mr. Clean.
Wait.
That would work really well.
Kind of funny.
That would. That would be very fun. Tomorrow I want to see you in the Mr. Clean T-shirt. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do in the hoop. Little hoop earring.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Okay, so since we talked yesterday, they identified the killer in the parade, the Christmas parade killer, rapper Darrell Brooks, who performs under the name Math Boy Fly, which is pretty cool. Facing 5 charges of intentional homicide. I mean, this guy has 50 pages of crimes that he has committed. 50 pages. Jeez. That's too many. Stu and I talked yesterday on Glenn's show about how, maybe we can let you get away with 48 or 49. Okay,
that was the number?
Yeah.
49 was
49,
the cutoff? Yeah.
But 49 is the cutoff.
Yeah.
At 50 pages, that's just too many. We can't let you out of jail anymore. They let him out of jail for $1,000.
Yeah. Sure did.
Yeah, that was inappropriately low. Yeah, it really was. It really was. And we paid for their stupidity.
Yes, we certainly did.
Now, we don't know why this guy did what he did. 39 years old, just a perpetual criminal, apparently. He's had a lot of drug charges in the past. Maybe he got drugged up and just went nuts. I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with Kenosha and the verdict in the Kyle Rittenhouse case. I don't know. But I think you could probably rule out Islamic terrorism.
Yes.
Seems like.
It seems like that's probably
I think we can rule
pretty
that out
good
now.
choice.
Mm-hmm. We can rule out white supremacy, and we can rule out Islamic terror. The guy is definitely not a white supremacist.
No, he is not.
So I don't want to hear that kind of nonsense. The guy hates Trump, so I don't want to hear that he's a Trump supporter.
I know.
So you can rule that out as well. Although he apparently didn't like Obama all that much because he said, I don't know, something mean about Obama too in the past. He didn't like Obama much.
Obama, a lot. He may have felt that Barack, sold him out.
May have. Yeah, he may have. I mean, it's Math Boy Fly, and did he ever get invited to the White House to perform for Obama?
So.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think not once.
He was hurt.
Yeah, well, I would be. Jay-Z was invited how many times with Beyonce? But Math Boy Fly? Not once. Not once. So I don't blame him for not liking Obama.
Fly.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean, the guy is just a dirtbag, right? I mean,
yes.
He's a criminal dirtbag.
Yes.
He's got no business being on the street.
Although, up until this point, you don't really have anything that points to murder like this.
Right. I mean, right. It was all one-on-one crime and drug crimes. And I obviously he's done enough criminal activity that it questions why he was on the street.
Yeah.
But, it still doesn't really lead you down the path of, mass killing like this through a crowd.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's a big jump. That's a big jump. It
really is.
I'd be really fascinated to, and so, obviously the world, why? What was his thinking, if any, to do something like this? I mean, it's just horrible.
He apparently wrote an anti-Donald Trump rap and declared F the pigs, according to some songs that were posted online. I think these have been taken down. Is that one
of his hits?
F the pigs? I think it is, yeah. I think that's one of his big ones. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's F the Pigs by Math Boy Fly. Not really. I'm not actually going to play it. So we don't have it. We don't have it queued up.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, no.
I think we have it. I think we have it in the back in the music room. In the music room, I think we have it.
I'd like to request that if you guys could bring it out from the back.
Maybe during the all request lunch hour.
Okay.
We'll get to that. We'll see if we can get that on for you.
I'm sure. We'll try to get it on for you. Thank you.
The great top 40 DJ lie. I'm going to try to get that on for you. Which means, when it comes up again on my program log, then I'll play it. Because that's all I can do.
And I've been saving.
No station in the world actually takes requests.
Oh, that's not true.
That is true.
That is true.
Unless you set aside.
That is not true.
Sometimes you can do it if it's like a all lunch request or something. But during the course of the regular day,
that's not happening.
No, that's not happening. That's not happening. You're not going against the music log.
And when Mary called in to request her favorite song 2 days ago at 4 p.m.
And I recorded her that phone call.
I'm playing it today at 2:30 because the song came up. Okay.
Yep. This is for Mary. Here you go, hon. Mary out there
I really like to hear
Mary out in the heights.
Math Boy Fly.
Here's Math Boy Fly and F the pigs.
I mean, Ernie Harwell used to, when he was announcing Tiger baseball, he used to, people would catch foul balls and people would send him names saying, "Hey, Ernie, this is, Betty McGillicuddy from Battle Creek. I love listening to you." So people would catch foul ball on the left field line, caught by, looks like Betty McGillicuddy from Battle Creek.
just make up names.
Name listeners and
that's
viewers.
Fun. Yeah, that's good. I like that. I also like when you're playing the song underneath the phone call of the person that you recorded a few minutes ago that requested the song.
That's a good song.
And so you're playing that over the intro, and then she says, "I want to hear Matt Boy Fly and F the Pigs," and then
right into
the vocals. Well, how did you know? How did you didn't ask you for the song until it got to the vocals? You were already playing the song. I love that.
The kind of guru I am.
Yeah. It's just a magic like that. I can always tell. So he also posted a video on one of his Twitter accounts ranting about a speech made by then President Barack Obama, which he called a crock of bull stuff. There you go. So that's what he said about Obama. And he raps about AK-47s. With a playlist on his now removed YouTube channel, including the song "Gun Kill You." Gun Kill You. Okay. Nice. It's also reported that Brooks posted on social media after Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted of murder over the death of, this says 3 people. There again, another incorrect article containing errors that they don't correct before they post these things. Right. 2 people died. 1 had his arm shot off. Well, not completely. Rittenhouse broke down in tears on Friday as he was declared cleared of 5 criminal charges after a dramatic trial.
Yeah, I mean, they'd found
him
like he actually not guilty.
Looks like he actually fell to the floor.
Yeah, he almost did. Yeah, he dropped down.
Yeah.
It was it was an emotional moment. Right? I mean, his interview last night was was not bad. He kind of impressed me last night.
Did he?
Yeah. I know he had a hour-long interview on Tucker Carlson, and it was I felt like the interview, there were times when I felt like that's really a coached answer, but of course it would be. I mean, there's no reason for it not to be, and he sold it. I mean, he was a pretty impressive young man last night.
Well, here he is recounting the whole situation. And he talks about seeing a gun pointed at his head.
Yeah, his recant of what happened that night was pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of the rioters try and calm him down or stop him?
What I noticed is the rioters were trying to, they were disassociating with him because he was spewing the N-word around, and they just didn't seem to want to have anything to deal with him, the rioters.
Yeah. So he comes, he tries to grab your rifle.
I think this was
he gets shot. You decide at that point, unless I'm misremembering, you want to go turn yourself into the police.
Yes. After I shoot Mr. Rosenbaum, he tried to grab my gun. I was running away. There was a gunshot behind me. After I shoot him, I run around the car because I was going to go render first aid to him. I wasn't able to because then there was a mob forming and calling for my execution to get him and kill him. And that's when I try to run to the police line and get to the police. And then I am attacked again.
By the guy who kicked you?
By Jump Kick Man, yes.
Whose identity we didn't know. It turns out the prosecution knew it and hid it.
So we found out November 7th, the prosecution, we went into the judge's chambers and the prosecution said, we identified Jump Kick Man, and the prosecution threw a fit a little bit. They didn't want us to interview him. They were like, well, he's a victim, and didn't want my investigators or my attorneys to interview him or ask him questions. They just wanted to do it private, non-recorded, and the judge said, no, it's going to be recorded. And then a couple hours later, they say, oh, he asked for immunity and we're not going to give it to him, so we're not going to be calling him as a witness.
Yeah, well, probably didn't want to talk about his criminal record.
Yeah.
So you're running, trying to get to the police lines. You see the mob coming after you. Let's execute him, they're saying. And then out of nowhere, you get dropped to the ground by the guy who kicks you in the head. Mm-hmm. Did you see him coming?
I did. To backtrack a little bit, actually, as I'm running, Gage Grosskreutz came up to me with his phone and put it in my face, and he said, what are you doing? Did you just shoot that man? And I told him, I'm going to the police. And he said, oh, okay, and ran off, and I kept running to get to the police. And that's when Anthony Huber strikes me with the skateboard as I'm running before I'm on the ground for the first time. And then I'm hit with a rock by somebody in a white tank top. And that's how I end up on the ground. And I have 4 people around me from what I remember. And I move my firearm in their direction and they back off with their hands up so I don't shoot them. And then Jump Kick Man keeps coming. And that's when I fire 2 shots at Jump Kick Man.
But he missed.
Wow.
But he missed Jump Kick Man.
You miss him and he kicks you.
Yes.
Yeah. Pause it for a second.
Then
so he's in real trouble.
He's in real trouble.
He's just gotten hit with a skateboard, knocked to the ground, hit with rocks. The crowd is calling for his execution.
Yeah, he's trying to get to the police line.
He's trying to get to the police to say, yeah, I had to shoot somebody in self-defense.
And you're going to wait till he tells you what happens when he finally gets there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fascinating story. And it just, it's just too bad that he went that night in the first place.
Yes.
All this could have been avoided.
Yes.
It's interesting, though, that virtually everybody who attacked him has a criminal record, long criminal records. Isn't that interesting?
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It is interesting.
Wow. So there's a lot of criminals at the BLM rally? Riot?
Well, this one.
Just this one. Just this one, I'm sure. You're right. You're right, Jeffy. Thank you for that clarification.
No problem.
Just this one had a whole bunch of criminals. All right, let's see some of the rest of this.
Then what happens?
After Jump Kick Man is running off, Anthony Huber comes up and he grabs the barrel of my gun and then he hits me with his skateboard holding his trucks, and that's when I shoot him one time.
Where did he hit you with the skateboard?
He hit me in the back of the head, in the neck, the back of the head towards the neckline.
Did you think you were going to be killed at that point?
I did.
Then what happens?
And then after Mr. Huber attacks me, Mr. Grosskreutz puts his hands up and then I had my rifle pointed in his direction for about a second, and then once I lower my rifle, I noticed that my ejection port is opened about an inch, and Mr. Grosskreutz said I pulled the charging handle, which never happened. I hit the forward assist to close the ejection port, and he sees me doing that or something, and this time he runs at me, and he has his gun pointed directly at my head.
Did you see the gun?
I did.
What, do you think he was going to shoot you?
I did. He had it pointed directly at my
Thus
head.
the self-defense,
and that's when I
Tucker.
shoot him one time, and he is no longer a threat to me at that point because he ran off after I fired that shot.
Did you realize you'd hit him?
I didn't know until later.
Hit him hard, too. Pause it for a second, because that guy's arm was nearly blown off.
Yeah.
Hit him hard. But the guy was coming after him.
And that photograph right there, him with the weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, holy cow. Without video evidence.
Thank heaven. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Thanks to all the people who were there, including, I think...
Elijah.
Wasn't Elijah there? Yeah. He was one of the people that were recording this. So thanks to him and others who recorded this, we have the whole scene. And otherwise, this kid's going to do life in prison without the possibility of parole.
Absolutely. 100%.
Because that's the mandatory sentence in Wisconsin.
Now,
life in prison without parole. Yeah.
I mean, so right now, he's still trying to get to the police line.
Yeah. Right.
Still trying to get to the police.
So he's shot 2 people at this point, or 3? Has he shot all 3 by now?
I don't think he's, maybe.
Okay, we'll get back to his interview with Tucker Carlson.
2 for sure.
In just a second. First of all, let me tell you about Patriot Mobile. It is way past time to switch to Patriot Mobile. What are you waiting for? Are we waiting for AT&T and Verizon to help just destroy the country before we finally make the switch? Because they're the ones who are contributing all this money. AT&T was in the top 10 of Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, all the suspects, Bernie Sanders, top 10 donors. In some cases, like the top 3 donors. And I think in some cases, even the biggest donor, any of these people, we'll just call them people during the commercial, any of these people had. So if you don't want to continue to contribute to AT&T so they can contribute to Planned Parenthood and others we can't stand, switch to Patriot Mobile. They're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. If you make the switch today, they're going to give you a free month of service. Don't wait. This offer ends December 5th. So this will hopefully get you off the thinking that, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that sometime. This is the time. You'll get a free month of service if you do this before December 5th. PatriotMobile.com/Pat or call 972-PATRIOT. Get a free month of service when you use the offer code PAT until December 5th. They also have special discounts for veterans and first responders. Support a company that loves America and shares your values. PatriotMobile.com/Pat or 972-PATRIOT.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
A pretty compelling interview with Kyle Rittenhouse on the night in question, which was it August 5th, I think, of 2020? Somewhere in there. So he's shot a person. People are coming after him. He shot a person in self-defense. The first guy, who is an actual child rapist, by the way. Now, that doesn't mean it's okay to hunt him down and kill him, but that's not what happened. You know, but it's fascinating how many people are making these 3 out to be saints.
Sure is.
To be heroes. To be BLM supporters and so wonderful, and all they care about is civil rights. Really? Yeah, they're criminal douchebags. And again, that doesn't mean they should be shot, but again, that's not what happened. They tried to shoot Kyle Rittenhouse, and he acted in self-defense. So he's been hit with a skateboard. He's been hit with rocks. he's been approached and somebody grabbed the barrel of his gun, and somebody else approached him. The what's his name? Something Kreutz. Gross Kreutz. Yeah. Came up to him and was aiming the gun at him when and he admitted this on the stand, which is amazing. I don't know why he didn't lie. I guess because there's video evidence of it.
Well, you tell the truth on that.
That's right. That's right. He's just an honest citizen. That's all. Of course, I'm not going to lie about it. Yeah, I pointed the gun at him first, and then Kyle shot him. So here he is recounting the story.
A person directly in front of me, and I point my rifle in their direction, and he puts his hands up, and he's backing up, and I then turn around, start going to the police, and then I hear shots behind me, and I turn around and briefly raise my rifle to see if I'm being shot at, and then I realize I can't see who's shooting at me, so then I turn around and go back to the police car, towards the police line.
It's just, hearing this is just hard to believe this is happening in an American city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then you finally get up, you hear shots, you turn to see who's shooting at you, and then you finally make it to the police line.
Yes. Once I make it to the police cruiser, the police officer says, "Get back, get back, get back." One of them has a gun out and the other has pepper spray pointed at me. And I say, "Hey, I just had to shoot somebody. I just had to shoot somebody." And then they say, "Go home." And I didn't know this until...
Go home?
Yeah.
Pause it for a second. Home. Hey, officer, I just shot somebody. Yeah, go home.
Go home.
Go home.
I know. Well, get out of here.
Wait, no, I just shot somebody. Yeah, go home.
Get out of here. Incredible.
Okay. That's weird. Maybe they didn't hear him.
And he mentions that as well.
All right, let's see this.
And then they say, "Go home." And I didn't know this until...
Go home?
Yeah. The officer said to go home. I don't think he knew what happened or heard me. There's a lot of chaos going on.
Yes.
But apparently he pepper sprayed me. You can see it in the video, but I don't remember being pepper sprayed by him.
So then what happened?
I say, okay, I go back to the car source lot number 2. We've been referring to them. Car source 1 is the one that got burnt down. Car source 2 is the one that I was at primarily the entire night. And car source 3 is the one where I was attacked by Mr. Rosenbaum. I go back to car source lot number 2 and I tell everybody there what happened. I said I had to do it. I was just attacked. I was dizzy. I was vomiting. I couldn't breathe. And I was like, I wanted to turn myself in Kenosha. I wanted to turn myself into the police in Kenosha, but I wasn't able to because they weren't accepting visitors apparently with the barricades and the fence up. So we ended up turning myself into the Antioch Police Department.
She drove back across state lines, as we're now calling it. Funny. You couldn't even turn yourself in.
No, it was like I had to go to Antioch Police Department, which, to my understanding, is the closest police department to Kenosha.
Why do you think people were burning car source? What does that have to do with civil rights?
I don't know.
Yeah, none of us know.
Don't know.
No one knows the answer to that.
Because don't forget, this was in response to Jacob Blake, right?
Yes. They're rioting because Jacob Blake, who had sexually assaulted his girlfriend in front of her daughter, stolen her car, was ignoring the orders from police to stand down, to stop, to get down, to stop, but he wouldn't do it.
Right.
Walked around to the other side of his car with the police yelling at him the whole time, giving him instructions. Opens the door, reaching for something, presumably a weapon of some sort, and then he's shot.
Yeah, I mean, there was a weapon in the car, right? There was a knife in the car that he was reaching for, or presumably reaching for. I know his dad...
He did not die, by the way.
No, he did not. He's still alive. Mm-hmm. His dad commented on Kyle's verdict, saying this could empower individuals to openly carry weapons and shoot others.
Yeah, shut up.
I mean, he's the one the mom was the one that was asking everyone for prayers and for unity, right? The dad was the one is one of the BLM supporters. Mm-hmm. Jacob Blake's dad. So, I mean, Anyway, it's just fascinating. He also talked about what it was like in jail. He was in jail for 87 days.
Yeah.
And for 20 some of those days, the jail that he was in, he talked about what it was like and what the cell was like.
The jail was interesting. I was in my own room. It was kind of like a one-star. I'm going to describe it as a one-star hotel. A one-star hotel. We'll go with a Super 8.
Super 8.
I had a desk. I had a shower. I had a toilet. I had a TV.
Wow.
I had a tablet.
I know. A tablet, a phone.
Do you have a
But
pool?
I didn't
Was
have
there a
running
pool?
Water.
No.
No.
Because there's
no
no
pool.
running water.
Oh, okay.
I had a
No
phone
running
also,
water.
but I did not have running water, so I didn't shower until November 20th.
Good golly.
October 31st to November 20th, I did not take a shower.
That's disgusting.
I smelled terrible. I felt sick. I lost weight. My health was degrading. If I was in there for a month longer, I would have probably been in a hospital.
Wait, you had no running water?
No running water in my jail cell.
Did they let you out?
To talk with my attorneys. I didn't really say anything about my running water because I don't like to bring attention to myself. I didn't want to draw any problems with any of the guards. So I was like, I'm just gonna shut up and not mention that I don't have running water. But I didn't shower until November 20th. And when I showered, I took like a 3-hour shower. I had like blood. My skin was bleeding because my skin was coming off of my body. It was just the nastiest thing ever. And I feel bad for Dave, who's been with me through the beginning, who's helped start freekyleusa.org. I feel bad for him because he had to deal with my smell for that 3-hour car ride. So I give him all the credit in the world.
Wow. He also apparently had problems with his original lawyers, one of which was Lynn Wood.
Yes.
And he has not good things to say about Lynn Wood and the other lawyer.
No, and Pierce, I think his name is. Is that what his name is?
Might have been. I can't remember the other one's name. But they were raising money, and he says not on his behalf.
You're right.
They were raising money on their own behalf.
Apparently they had enough for the bond prior,
long before
earlier.
he got out. Yeah. They had over $1 million.
Now, the one guy told him, and it might actually be true, the other guy, and I can find out quick enough, but his name, I think it was Pierce. He told him that he is safer in jail. That might actually have been true.
That's possible.
That he was safe.
That is possible.
Because
I can see that.
Yes, I could too. And Kyle he said the guards were really nice. And he said in the end, after a period of time, he was playing cards with other inmates. And he joked about playing spades with other inmates, and they realized that he was not what was portrayed. So,
as a white supremacist,
correct? Yeah. Because he said he supported the BLM movement in general.
Yeah, if it's peaceful, he's in favor of what they're trying to accomplish. I'm sure he doesn't know about the Marxist rhetoric on the website of BLM or the fact that they were trying to destroy the traditional family, all of that stuff. I'll give him a break on the support for the BLM movement because I'm sure he's not aware of that. But interesting, really interesting. He went through a lot.
And then he talked about how after he turned himself in, and then it took I forget how long before they actually came and arrested him for the crimes.
So he went down to the Antioch Police Department, and then they sent him home again?
Yes.
He told them, I killed 2 people and wounded another, and but I did it in self-defense. Okay.
Thanks.
Go home. Told him again to go home.
Thanks. Talk to you later.
That's amazing. They tell him to stay there or be in touch. Don't leave the state. Any of that? Wow, that's amazing. Isn't that amazing?
I mean, they finally got him.
Finally got him. Yeah. All right. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Think they'll ever build a road between Keith's house and Pat's house?
No! Please, no! No! No!
It's Pat Gray Unleashed on The Blaze.
Welcome. Thanks for being here. 888 933.93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So if you hadn't heard, the suspect has been named in the Waukesha Christmas parade killings. Some person who was a wannabe rap artist, apparently, 39 years old. A rap sheet, 50 pages long. 50 pages. Wrote some interesting lyrics about Donald Trump, not apparently a fan, and the F the pigs. I don't know if he just doesn't like pork or if he's maybe talking about police officers. I'm not really sure there. Really? Yeah, you might want to turn on your microphone.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's possible.
I was just laughing about
that. He didn't like pork.
Yeah. It might have been.
I'm just not a fan of bacon, so F those pigs. Okay, that's kind of strong.
Wow, calm down.
Yeah, just maybe eat lamb or chicken, maybe a little beef. I don't know. Calm down, though. Okay, calm down. So, also, Alex Jones and Roger Stone have now been subpoenaed over January 6th.
Good.
The day democracy almost died. It was that day. And so it's a good thing they're calling them before the committee investigating the January 6th U.S. Capitol insurrection. They issued subpoenas yesterday to 5 more individuals, including former President Trump ally Roger Stone, conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, as lawmakers deepened their probe of the rallies that preceded the deadly attack. Now, Jones was there, right? He was in...
I think so, yeah.
He was in D.C. I think I saw video of him on a bullhorn yelling something. I don't know.
That's what he does.
That's what he does. He gets on a bullhorn and he yells.
That's what he does.
Something like "Stop eating babies." He'll yell that from time to time. Quit eating babies. Wait, who's eating babies?
The frogs are gay. Yes.
And of course, it's the elites, the globalists. The globalists are eating babies.
Yes.
The subpoenas include demands for documents and testimony from Stone and Jones, as well as 3 people accused of organizing and promoting the 2 rallies that took place on January 6th. The Select Committee is seeking information about the rallies and subsequent march to the Capitol that escalated into a violent mob attacking the Capitol and threatening our democracy, according to Mississippi Rep. Benny Thompson, Democratic chairman of the panel.
I can't.
For A, we're not a democracy, okay? B, if our democracy is so fragile that a couple hundred people, and in fact, a few dozen people who are malcontents, can overturn that democracy by showing up at the Capitol and breaking some windows, hitting a few people over the head with poles, we don't have much of a democracy to begin with. Get out of here. Threatening our democracy. Shut up on that. Come on. It is just so asinine. It's just hard to get your head around.
It is for me. I'll tell you that. I mean,
I don't want to continue to do the disclaimer. I know there were some bad actors on January. We all know that. We've seen it. We've also seen hundreds of people milling around doing nothing.
Yes.
Nothing. Literally nothing but walking around the Capitol building.
Yes.
Not breaking anything, not threatening anyone, not trying to hang the vice president. They're doing nothing.
I mean, that video we've been seeing all morning about the one garage door being closed, and those guys are putting lawn chairs underneath it to try to keep it from closing and stuff. Okay. Right. I mean, was that the battlefield?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, you got me.
That's the Battle of the Garage. You haven't heard of the Battle of Garage at the Capitol building?
I have not.
Oh, my gosh. It was heated.
It's a separate battle.
It was heated.
It'll be a movie soon.
Several people broke a nail in that battle. They broke a nail. I think it was a fingernail, but there were toenails involved as well.
Thankfully, an REI chair survived.
I'm not even going to. I'm not going to disclaim. I'm not going to disclaim it. I'm not going to because it's ridiculous. So he continued. We need to know who organized, planned, paid for, and received funds related to those events, as well as what communications organizers had with officials in the White House and Congress. Now, they're not interested in the least in any of those things in the big summer of love last year, with 5 or 6 or 7 months worth of riots, killing, fires, arson everywhere. They don't care who organized, planned, and paid for that stuff.
People crossing state lines to visit other cities across America.
By the busload. By the freaking busload. Who paid for that? And if you ask who paid for that, and maybe suggest an answer to it, like, I don't know, George Soros, you're a conspiracy theorist. Really amazing. It's amazing what they get away with and what they can do compared to what we can do and what's at our disposal. The committee has already interviewed more than 150 people across government, social media, law enforcement, including some former Trump aides who've been cooperative. Panel has subpoenaed more than 20 witnesses, most of them including several associates who helped plan the massive Stop the Steal rally the morning of January 6th, have signaled they will cooperate. Now, the Stop the Steal rally was nothing more than a few speakers, including the president, talking about how he thought the election was stolen, and he was upset about it. The president, to my knowledge, never said, go down there and ransack the Capitol.
I don't think he did.
If anybody has video or audio of a place where Trump did, in fact, say that, please share it with me.
But you knew what he meant.
And I'll be happy to admit I was wrong.
You know what he meant when he said stop the steal.
Yeah, the same thing people mean when they say Chicago or apartment. Apparently, that's a dog whistle for racism somehow.
Okay.
Yeah. So he meant the same thing. It was a dog whistle for go attack the Capitol and bring down our democracy. But only dogs heard it, which is why the democracy wasn't brought down. Because dog whistles can't be heard by human ears. So it's kind of stupid to use them, really. Stone was convicted in a special counsel in Robert Mueller's Russia investigation of lying to Congress about his efforts. So he was eventually pardoned by Trump. The House subpoena notes that Stone spoke at rallies on the day before the Capitol insurrection. I can't take it. And used members of a far-right group, the Oath Keepers, as personal security guards while he was in Washington. Well, that means he was trying to bring down the Republic, doesn't it? If he used members of the far-right group, the Oath Keepers, yeah, that's dangerous stuff right there.
Right.
What do the Oath Keepers do? They keep oaths, right? You would think their name suggests that they try to keep their oath to someone.
They're the keeper of the oath.
Yeah, yes. I don't know.
I mean, they're actual... There's a couple people I know that are proud oath keepers.
Isn't it a somewhat like religious thing?
They're guardians of the Republic, Pat.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Gosh,
so it's not religious in any way? No?
It doesn't look like
I'm not super familiar with Oath Keepers. I've heard of them many times, but I've never really looked into the group. I didn't realize that they... they provided security for.
I don't know that they do. I don't know that they actually do provide security like that.
They just like to make all of this look skull and bones like.
Yes.
Like, there's some secret organization that is behind all of this, and Trump is at the head of it. And, they use QAnon usually, but they'll use anybody. Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, whoever. They don't care. 888-900-3393, also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. In a statement, Stone said he has yet to see the details of the subpoena, but called any allegation of his involvement on that day categorically false. I've said time and time again that I have had no advanced knowledge of the events that took place at the Capitol on that day. I don't believe anybody did. I don't believe anybody planned to ransack the Capitol. I think people got carried away once they were there. That's what I think happened.
Yes.
After the subpoena is served and after my counsel reviews the request, I'll make the determination of how I'll proceed. It's tough not to go because you'll be charged with contempt of Congress. Yeah. So you really have to go, right? When you get the subpoena, you should go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say it probably is in your best interest.
If you don't want to go to jail, you probably should go. Especially if you have nothing to hide. I'd love to subpoena me. I'll go. I'll tell you about what I've seen on that day because it was not exactly horrific.
No, it was not. And the guy, the shaman that they just gave 40-some months to,
41 months.
They admitted that the reason they gave him so much time is because he was the face of it. Oh, okay. All right, well then you're the face of something, so you go to jail. I'm just incredible.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
His flagpole, I guess, was a weapon. All right. Okay.
Did he use it on somebody?
And
did he hit anybody in the head with a flagpole? Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so either.
And I think he left a note for Nancy Pelosi on her desk.
You know what he did do? He looked goofy.
Yeah.
He looked goofy.
That's what I mean. And he's the face. He was the face of it.
Yeah.
Right.
And they love that he looked goofy.
Yeah.
Because they make it out like, look at these right-wing kooks. He thinks he's a Viking or something.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, that's why you don't dress up like that when you go to these events, because it just gives the left all kinds of cannon fodder.
I know. I get it. So the Oath Keepers, a nonpartisan association of current, and this is from their website, current and formerly serving military, police, and first responders who pledge to fulfill the oath all military and police take to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
What kookery! Wow! What right-wing nut jobs!
Thank you.
Huh. Oh, man.
Now,
I'm glad you read that, Jeffy, because I would have thrown up in my mouth a little bit if I had to read that. Those words came out of my mouth.
I'm trying to look on their About page if it says provide security for people, but it doesn't.
For former Trump aides.
It doesn't.
All right, let me tell you about a new way to make money in America. It's in a booming market that's seen 2,700% growth, and it handed investors more money than the S&P 500 between 1995 and 2020. That is a nice, long period of time to have a great track record like this. And it outperformed other assets, even during the worst economic downturns. Would you believe me if I told you it's contemporary art? And while investing in this lucrative alternative asset was previously only accessible to the elite and wealthy corporations like Microsoft and Deutsche Bank and JP Morgan, that's all changed because there's a new way to invest in blue chip paintings at a fraction of the cost. In fact, over 280,000 everyday Americans have already invested in this alternative asset. To discover how to invest in million-dollar artwork from artists like Picasso, Monet, Banksy, go to masterworks.io/unleashed. Just keep in mind the limited asset, so offerings have previously sold out in just hours. Again, it's masterworks.io/unleashed. See the important disclaimers at masterworks.io/unleashed. The disclaimer for details.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
It is. Joined this week by Jeffy. Keith is on vacation. 888-900-3393. Let's go to Lori D. in New Mexico. Hey, Lori, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, I am really, I know this is not the biggest thing in the history of the world, but no one can pronounce Waukesha properly. I grew up in Wauwatosa, which is 10 minutes from Waukesha. It's pronounced Waukesha, not Waukesha, not Waukesha. It's Waukesha.
Waukesha.
Right. Have we not said Waukesha?
Oh, no, you have been screwing it up. Everybody on your network.
I don't think so. I think we've been saying Waukesha.
I want evidence. I want audio evidence of that.
I think we've said Waukesha.
Talk to Elijah because he doesn't even care. I'm not even kidding.
And we're talking about this show.
Yeah.
This show.
Yeah,
I don't give a
Elijah
crap
may have
about
mispronounced
Elijah
it.
Schaefer and his silly "You Are Here" show.
We have said Waukesha, I believe, each and every time.
No, Pat. Right now you're saying it wrong. You're saying Waukesha. No, it's
Waukesha.
Waukesha.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So then now you need to go say Oconomowoc. Say Oconomowoc. Say it.
We're not your trained monkey.
Yeah, we're not trained monkeys here.
That.
We can't do it.
We're not doing that.
All right.
Love you guys.
Thanks, Lori D. Appreciate it. You too. I love how people are so sensitive about the pronunciation of their little teeny hometowns where nobody outside of that hometown knows how to pronounce it. When we lived in New Haven, Connecticut, they have a big thing about the accent aigrun being on the wrong word.
Accent aigrun.
The accent aigrun must not be on the new. It's got to be on Haven. New Haven.
New Haven.
Not New Haven. It's so weird. But they know you're an outsider if you say New Haven.
Right. Oh, so.
And a lot of people can't even hear the difference. You know? They don't get it.
So it's New Haven.
Yes.
New Haven.
New Haven.
There.
New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
New Haven. Just there.
New Haven.
Yeah.
So, the accent aigrun is on the second word. He's on the second
Call
one.
me that one more time. Swear to God, we're gonna
And then Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
Yeah, people are sensitive about that because it's Norfolk.
And apparently, Waukesha.
Waukesha.
It's Waukesha. We've been saying it.
Waukesha. I've never said Waukesha. I know that. Waukesha?
Waukesha. We've been saying it right.
I think so. Right?
Yeah.
Prove us wrong, if you can.
I mean,
I'm guessing you can't.
I don't think you can.
All right, 888-933-93. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Great to have you with us. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Even after the verdict has come in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, even after the trial, people are still saying that Kyle Rittenhouse killed 2 black men. How is this possible? How is it possible? And I'm talking about, people who should absolutely know better. James Madison University apparently posted a video from one of their students on their website that was somewhat enlightening.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Here's what this really knowledgeable person had to say about what happened.
I simply wanted to publicly announce that the verdict of the Kyle Rittenhouse case has been nothing more than a disgusting reminder of what it's really like to be black in America. All the protesting, everything we went through in 2020, we really would think would make a change, but clearly it doesn't. We scream Black Lives Matter, but it doesn't matter enough for these people who are in power, the jury, the judge, anybody, to charge this man with murdering and taking away 2 beautiful black lives at the ripe age of 26 and 36. It's
Pause.
disgusting.
Go back about 10 seconds and soak that in for a second. Trial's already happened. Highly publicized.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way you don't have access to. If you just go online, you should see what happened. If you just turn on a television, you could see what happened. It is inconceivable to me that
it isn't the word.
Oh.
I don't think it means what you think it means.
Okay, well, that's possible too. Because listen to what he said.
We scream Black Lives Matter, but it doesn't matter enough for these people who are in power, the jury, the judge, anybody, to charge this man with murdering and taking away 2 beautiful black lives at the ripe ages of 26 and 36. It's disgusting. We can't go to the store.
Unbelievable.
We can't lay in
Is that
bed,
unbelievable?
Breonna Taylor, and we can't even protest without our lives being on the line.
Okay, good.
And that's what we fight
No, I can't take it. This is posted on the website of a fairly major university.
Yeah.
James Madison University, named after a founding father. Could you at least get the race of the people killed right? No, you can't. And murder, you can't call it murder when he was just acquitted of those charges. When it's self-defense, it's not murder. So There's nothing really accurate about any of what he just had to say.
And they continue. I mean,
it just keeps
he's not
going.
the only one. It's just an ongoing false narrative that is just never shut down.
Oh, he got the ages right. The two men were 36 and 26.
Yeah, okay, 26 or 27. Yeah, whatever it was.
According to the articles I've read, they were 36 and 26.
Well, I know.
But they happen to be as white as Rittenhouse.
I just know what Pascal wrote in his tweet.
Oh my gosh, Pedro Pascal from Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm. That he wrote Joseph Rosenbaum, 36, and Anthony Huber, 27, murdered August 25th, 2020. Rest in peace. I just know what he tweeted. So.
Yeah, it's kind of a tribute to this child rapist on the left.
He took a beating for. I mean, they beat him up for it.
I hope so.
Yeah, and look,
you're doing a special tribute to this guy, really?
Right?
Come on.
I know.
Come on. Now.
Well, I know we all loved him in The Mandalorian.
Yes.
Let's not forget that he was in The Great Wonder Woman.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that
Wonder Woman
84? 84, yeah.
One of the worst movies ever.
Terrible. But I did like him in Game of Thrones. He played a great character in Game of Thrones.
I didn't see him in
awesome.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's kind of a big guy show.
It's a big guy show?
Yeah, it's a big Game of
so
Thrones.
You have to be,
Game of Thrones was a big guy show.
You have to be fat to see it? You got to be big and fat to watch it?
No,
Is that what you're saying?
Look, Pat, look.
You got to be about your size to watch it? It's a big guy show. Only fat people can see it. Oh,
That's
okay.
not
Well,
what I said.
whatever. All right.
Big guy show. It's for adults is really what I meant.
Rob is telling me he was also in the second Kingsman movie, which I didn't see. So.
Oh yeah, okay.
But Mandalorian, he's good in it. It's so irritating and disappointing to see this kind of nonsense come from people who should be better educated than this, right?
You would hope so.
Come on
you
now.
certainly would hope so.
And you can hope all you want. They just never are. They're never educated on this stuff. It's despicable because you're spreading disinformation and lies to the nation.
Well, even Kyle asked President Biden in his interview with Tucker to just please watch the trial before you speak about it.
Right, which he admitted he didn't do.
Right.
He's said this just like yesterday or the day before.
Do you have any reaction to the trial of Rittenhouse?
I just heard a moment ago.
Do you have any reaction?
I didn't watch the trials.
Okay, you didn't watch the trial.
Okay.
But you knew enough to call Kyle Rittenhouse a white supremacist in your campaign nonsense last year.
Right.
And you said you were angry about the verdict.
Yes.
But he didn't watch the trial.
Right.
That tells you a lot. That tells you everything you need to know about the guy.
It sure does.
Completely ill-informed. A total buffoon.
The other thing that tells you a lot about the guy, I know we can get back to this, but you have to see the little girl defending herself against. So on Friday, after his buttectomy, his routine checkup, he pardoned the turkeys. You know, the big Thanksgiving turkey pardon party that they have. Mm-hmm. And
we learned last week on More on Trivia that it's not turkeys that are pardoned; it's giraffes.
So
they pardoned 2 giraffes.
So this story again, another story, wrong information in it.
Right.
They mentioned turkeys.
Right.
It's not turkeys.
Right.
I mean, they don't have editors anymore for these stories.
No, they don't.
That's
apparently,
unbelievable. So he's going up to this little girl as Joe Biden does. And it's awesome.
Do we have video of it?
Like, no. Here we go.
Okay.
So he goes up and he's trying to be Creepy Joe.
He is being Creepy Joe. He's not just
and he's
trying.
poking at her and comes up to her, and she is like having none of it. That's awesome.
He's like, look, dude, I don't care if you're the president of the United States. Don't be poking me. I don't know you.
Right?
Get out of here.
What
Get out
are
of my
you doing in my face?
That's so great. Let's see that one more time. That was fun.
He's such a creepy guy.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is.
Don't sniff him.
And he's poking her.
Poking her.
She is just like, get
no,
off
stop
me. Get off me.
Get your finger out of my face, old man. No, he's trying. You try. I guess it. No,
he's trying to be relatable. Is that where you're going?
He's trying to be grandpa.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. You're too creepy for that.
I know it's over.
Just
Stop
doesn't
it.
Work.
Stop it. Somebody needs to tell him stop it.
We know you too well to be the sweet old grandfatherly figure. No,
just stop it.
Yeah,
you're going to be 79.
He already
Saturday,
is.
Right?
He was 79 Saturday. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, he's already had his birthday. So he is. I mean, he's 79 now.
Yep.
And Psaki already said that he's planning on running again.
That is incredible,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, all plans are for him to run again. Well, I don't think
President Biden was telling allies that he's going to run for re-election in 2024. Can you confirm, is he going to run in 2024? Is he telling staff that?
Yes, that's his intention.
Yes, that's his intention. Get out of here.
Okay.
It might be his intention in his deluded, dementia-riddled mind.
Really?
But no Democrats want him to run. He's at 36% approval right now. 36%! At a time when he should still be in the honeymoon phase of his presidency. Nobody likes him. He's doing such a crappy job.
Which is so strange.
And everybody knows, he's declining. He just, Britt Hume even said that he's declining and he won't make it through this term. And I think that's true.
Well, we know from his checkup that he had.
Oh, he's vigorous. He's a vigorous, active 79-year-old man that seems like he's not a day over 83.
Well, the report said that his ambulatory gait had stiffened.
Oh, he did at least admit to that. Wow. Yeah, his ambulatory gait has stiffened.
His ambulatory gait had stiffened. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, those of us with eyes already knew that. Just people who are born without eyes are the only ones who don't know that.
The doctor also talked about how the things that changed recently was the throat clearing, and he's got some issue with his foot.
That's bumming it.
His foot?
Yeah, he's got some issue with his foot.
Yeah.
I forget what they call it.
He did not take a cognitive test.
No, he did not.
Did he?
No, he did. Well, they didn't admit to it anyway.
There's no way he did it because he wouldn't pass, and everybody knows it, including him. Everybody knows it. But he's going to run again in 2024.
Right.
We talked about this a little bit on Glenn's show yesterday. Who do they have? If Joe Biden doesn't run, they certainly don't want Kamala, who's got far worse approval than even his bad numbers. She's in the 20s. Yeah. He's at 36%.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not going to be him. It's not going to be Kamala that they want to run. Who do they have on the bench? They've got nobody.
He's done everything that he pretty much ran on, right? I mean, he shouldn't be so low in the polls.
Well, except for the fact that Afghanistan was a complete abject disaster.
Inflation
is running rampant.
Sure, there's that.
The illegal entries at the border are the highest they've ever been in American history.
Okay, so then there's that.
There's that. They're not being checked for COVID-19 because you can't check the ones you're not catching. And they just release people into the population without checking them,
right?
Without giving them a test. That's just a tiny little fragment of all the things that have gone wrong since he took over.
I mean, Afghanistan
was
a complete bungle.
Complete disaster, and you can't say anything else.
We're shutting down. I mean, I know he ran on, energy, I guess. And and you're talking about inflation running rampant and the country declining since he's taken office. I guess that's happened at a much faster rate than they had planned, but his policies certainly were going to lead us down that road anyway.
That is true. And you can't deny the labor shortage, the empty shelves, which we haven't seen probably since World War II, I would think. The shortage of goods and services. You got 160 ships stacked up in the Los Angeles harbor still that they can't unload. He canceled the Keystone Pipeline. Everybody knows that contributes to the high cost of gasoline.
And they're talking about shutting down that other pipeline, the Michigan pipeline, the other Michigan pipeline.
He wants to.
He's asked OPEC for more gas. They told him, take your weakened ambulatory gait ass and get out of here.
Yes, they did. They said that was an exact quote too. That was an exact quote.
He's opened up the pipeline in Germany, right? Mm-hmm. And he's asked. It's been reported that he's asking China to open their reserves
because he wants us to do the same.
And he's looking like today he's going to talk about doing that here. That's just such a huge mistake.
It's ridiculous.
It's not going to help it.
It'll help maybe pennies on the gallon. I doubt even that. So what would help is if you let ExxonMobil and Chevron and Shell, or if they're even in existence anymore, all these oil companies that, I don't know, extract oil from the earth, let them do it.
Really?
Yeah, let them do their job. Yeah.
And maybe we, I don't know, we've already got some pipelines in place that could, work.
Let's use them.
Yeah.
Maybe change your mind on the stupid Keystone decision, which would help a lot.
Oh, my gosh.
So, but he's not going to. And so we have we have the gas prices, the highest they've been in a decade or more. When you've got even CNN bailing out from carrying the water for him on the Afghanistan crisis, they're like, okay, we don't mind carrying water, but we can't carry an ocean.
And while that may be right,
there's not enough buckets to carry the ocean of mess you've made.
And there's only so much, they got what they wanted. We talk about he did what he ran on. But really, there's only so much hatred of Trump that you can gather. I mean, that's over with now.
Yeah, it's going on a year. The guy hasn't been in office,
right? I mean, it's done now. We've while many of us may want Donald Trump back in office, that's over.
Mm-hmm.
It's his ship.
Yep.
And
and you wanted this job, so
it's sitting in the harbor.
So stop giving us the excuse of I inherited a really bad situation. Yeah, you wanted to inherit it.
Yeah,
you said you were going to do something good with it, so do it. But he can't.
And we've lost. Afghanistan may be out of the headlines, but we're not forgetting that.
Right.
I'm sorry. That's.
Yep.
I mean,
that was egregious.
Horrific, and we lost lives because of his actions. Soldiers' lives that should not have been lost because of his actions.
At least the 13 and probably many more. All right, let me tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. If you're relocating, you have to sell in this location and then buy in the next, and you need somebody who's really good at helping you do both. You need a real estate agent from Real Estate Agents I Trust. These are really, really experienced people. They've got great track records. They have great marketing plans. And if they don't, they're just not part of this network. They're also fans of the show. So you're not going to have to hear really stupid things come out of their mouth like, hey, did you see the guy, 17-year-old kid who murdered 2 black people got off scot-free on that? You won't be hearing that from these agents. So when you decide that it's time, or your employment situation decides for you that it's time, go to Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really says it all. You're going to have a competitive winning machine, a team of people who are going to help you and see you through the entire process. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Pat Gray returns.
True that. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Don't forget traffic and weather together every 8 minutes on the threes all morning long to get you there on time. Got some tweets here. Proud Mr. Graybeard. Anytime the Dems accuse their opposition of anything, you can bet your life savings that they themselves are doing that thing.
Absolutely.
Right.
100%.
Collusion's a good example of that. The racism that they accuse others of is burning brightly in their own hearts.
Yes, it is.
Kara 3022. Notice those claiming the January 6th insurrectionists tried to overthrow our democracy while they work overtime to overthrow our republic and turn it into a democracy.
Amen.
That's a good point. Pastor Sam, the Steadfast Baptist, tweets, most abundant access to information in our time. One of the least informed generations of our time. Most people just don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss. And they just continue to exist in that vacuum, apparently. It is amazing, though, that they don't seem to look outside their little bubble at all. They've got liberal friends that are progressive, feed into that loop that they're in. And then they watch MSNBC and CNN, and they're perfectly happy. And, they're Facebook friends and what they see on nasty Twitter feeds. And they don't really know what is actually going on. They have no idea. Angry White American tweets, it's his intention, meaning Joe Biden, to run in 2024 because his overlords and Dr. Jill have told him he intends to.
Yeah. Going back to who they have, they really don't have anyone at all.
Uh-huh.
There's nobody, right? Nobody likes Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
They threw her a bone, and she became acting president when he was, when he went under the gas for a few hours. And I guess technically it was 85 minutes or something. But, okay. And then, but after that, there was talk, there was rumors, right, that they were going to try to get her on the Supreme Court so that they get her out of being vice president. I say no to that. No.
Yeah.
How about no?
Yeah, that's why we need to take back this. The Republicans need to take back the Senate next year, because if anything changes on the Supreme Court, we lose one of those so-called conservatives. They're not that conservative to begin with, but you lose one of those, and then they replace it with like a Kamala Harris.
Ooh.
Nightmare, just a nightmare.
Big time.
That's why it's critical for Republicans to regain control of Congress. They absolutely must do it.
If we make it that long.
Yeah, right.
I say yes to that. I agree.
But yesterday we kind of went back, Stu and I, on all the people that ran in 2020 for president for the Democrats. You remember how many that was?
It was a lot.
It was like 20 people.
It was a lot.
20, 21, 22, something like that. Some of them, I can't, like, Joe Sestak, and there was Messam. What was his first name? Anyway, he's like he's a mayor of a small town in Florida. These people you've never heard of.
Pete Buttigieg became a household name, right? Running for president and now in office or holding office.
Elizabeth Warren, Amy Klobuchar. These are people that are never going to win the presidency. They're not. They're just not. There's no way they can. They can win the presidency.
What's her face from Hawaii? That's not in office.
Yeah, they don't even.
Not Bette Midler, but the other one.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, Tulsi Gabbard.
But she's persona non grata in the Democrat Party.
Nice day.
They hate her. She could never win the Democrat nomination. Richard Gephardt. I think that's their main hope right now. Dick Gephardt.
Pull him out.
Bring him back, the old dinosaur. John Kerry, Richard Gephardt, and Al Gore. Those are the three I can think of that might actually have a shot.
And they're all just as old as Biden.
Yeah, they're all
darn
too old.
near.
All too old. Gephardt's older. Kerry, I'm not sure. Mid-70s, maybe late 70s?
John Kerry, yes.
He's got to be.
Absolutely.
And Gore is probably mid to late 70s.
Yes, absolutely. I bet you John Kerry's what? He's got to be 75, right?
Easy. At least. He was in Vietnam in
77.
Yeah.
77. Yeah. Al Gore, maybe 71.
No, he's older than that.
73.
As I said, older than 71.
I was just throwing numbers out the box. You don't need to.
They've got a terrible bench. Absolutely terrible. They are not deep. And we've got Ron DeSantis. Donald Trump.
I know.
Maybe.
Wow.
I read an article over the weekend that Trump is getting irritated with DeSantis because he will not categorically declare that he has no interest in running for president in 2024.
Good, because
that he won't. Yeah, I don't want him to either. I don't want him to declare that. Leave that open.
Yep, absolutely.
Because if you say, I think he wants him to say, "I won't run if Trump runs."
Right, that's exactly
what
he
wants him to say,
yes.
And he won't.
Good.
It's kind of interesting. We'll see if he stays in the good graces of Donald Trump.
Because
between now and
I'm throwing this
2024.
out there. I would venture to say that DeSantis is better than Trump.
Wow.
Better than Trump.
Wow.
I've heard
words.
some people
Those are
say
fighting
that
words.
he's smarter than Donald Trump.
Wow. Really?
Some people say that.
I'm not going to go down that road. I'm just not.
Okay. All right. Whatever. I'm just doing.
More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up.
Pat Gray.
Okay. I can't believe this story. This story.
I know. I knew you would love it so much.
It is incomprehensible. It is inconceivable.
It is in the heart. I don't think it means what you think it means.
It happened in Texas. In fact, very near where
right
we
here
live.
in DFW.
Right
yeah.
in the DFW
Heart
Metroplex.
Of the DFW Metroplex.
There's a school, a youth football team in Flower Mound, Texas. The Flower Mound Rebels.
Yes.
Made up of children between the ages of 7 and 8. They're the top team in their Texas Youth Football Association. But
in the Keller Youth Association.
But they were removed from the playoffs. Why? Because they cheated? Is that it? They got 12 and 13 and 14-year-olds on the team? No. Did they say the N-word, and so we can't allow them to continue anymore?
No. Did the coach send an email to anyone that
insulted someone
the F word?
Offended someone? No. They were removed from the playoffs because they're too good. Unquote. Quote, too good. Unquote.
They haven't lost a single game, and they were headed to the playoffs.
They've outscored their opponents this year 199-6. But we can't abide that kind of excellence.
We cannot.
Excellence like that cannot be permitted. So I'm sorry. You guys have talent, and we don't like that. You're going places, and we don't like that. You succeeded a lot. We don't like that.
Listen,
it made others feel bad.
You could play
others around you.
You could play the final game of the regular season,
but after that, you're done.
You're done.
Your season's done.
Shut it down.
Wow. So, Keller Youth Association Vice President Rhett Taylor, whose team recently lost to the Flower Mound Rebels 33-0, said the team actually plays too well to continue facing the competition in the rec league.
Oh,
what a great lesson for these kids. See, kids, be really good. Be at your best. And you know what? You're going to be punished for it. You won't be able to finish your season. So, congratulations. Taylor said to NBC News, they're too good. I fully admit it. They're a select level team. They're too good for a rec level team. Jeez. Yeah, but they're playing in the rec league.
Yeah, they followed your rules.
Yeah,
to get into this league.
That is, and this is in Texas, where people appreciate success.
It's embarrassing.
Appreciate you being, skilled and good at what you do.
Let me ask you a question, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Do they?
Yeah, do they? Maybe not anymore. I don't know. Maybe not.
I know.
Flower Mound Rebels coach Reagan Montero seconded the notion because one of the 8-year-olds on the team, center Grayson Tanner, was disappointed with the decision, saying, I feel like we deserve to play in the playoffs. What a powerful statement. I'm with you, though, Grayson. I'm with you. Grayson, I'm with you, my friend. You're exactly right.
We're quoting 8-year-old kids.
You're right about deserving to play in the playoffs.
Yes, you are. I mean, what's he supposed to say? F them.
No.
Bastards.
No, there's some other words he could use, but this was powerful enough. Let me give it to you again. I feel like we deserve to play in the playoffs. Unquote. Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Now,
you did. Yeah, you did. Sorry, you're not going to, though.
His coach seconded that notion and went a little bit further. Now he's really going out on a limb here. Because I think Grayson went far enough.
I got you, Grayson.
Right?
Just stop talking right now.
He called Taylor, who is the I guess the president of the league, he called him a sore loser who is changing the rules so it benefits him.
There you go.
There you go. Now, that's what Grayson could have said, but he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Because he has restraint.
He held back.
The Flower Mound Rebels have only been in the youth league for 1 year. And I'm guessing this will be the last year.
Right?
Why would you play in a league like this if excellence is frowned upon and discouraged and penalized?
On a rec level team. Well, then why did you let them in?
Right.
Well, if they followed your rules to get in the league,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's acceptable, rec level or not.
I'd like to know how many games they played to get to 199-6 differential.
Four games.
4?
I have no idea.
No, they probably played 10, maybe 9 or 10 games.
Maybe. Yeah, because the one game they just won 33
nothing.
Yeah.
The games are too short to really run up the score.
Right.
It's not like they're playing 15-minute quarters and a timeout every time. The clock stops when you run out of bounds. It's not that sort of situation. So you only have a certain amount of time to score these points. So 33-0 is a pretty good beating in a youth league like that. But that's where we are in America right now. And when you feel good about and even admit, yeah, they're too good. I'm sorry. We don't want them around. Something's radically wrong.
Right.
Radically wrong. That's amazing.
And even if you let's say even if you think to yourself, okay, they are too good and they're a rec level team, and we shouldn't have let them in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you did. You did. Do the season. Let's do the playoffs.
Right.
They're going to win. That's the deal. You know that.
Yes.
Or at least you hope that it looks like they're going to win.
And it gives the rest of the kids something to aspire to.
Yes. Yes.
You guys can be that good. If we work hard, we're going to work at it. And then during the off season, you continue to get better with your dads or your moms or
your sisters or
whatever gender happens to be in your house. The G's and Zhers and Jims in your life. Whatever. I don't care. Just get better. Okay? And then next year we'll beat them. Or maybe the year after that. Who knows? That's amazing.
Or maybe we'll ask them to go play in another league next year.
Yeah.
But just to pull the rug out from underneath them?
Crazy.
No, thank you.
That's just crazy. And disappointing.
Yeah.
Really is. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. I got to tell you about Tommy John. This Black Friday. So what are we, 3 days away from that?
Yes, we are.
Celebrate softness season by stocking up on your favorite Tommy John underwear, loungewear, pajamas. When you start your day wearing Tommy John, you're that much more comfortable, so you can do everything better. Just put you in a good mood because it feels so good. Nothing that rides up on you, nothing that you have to pull and tug at all day long. So great and soft and comfortable. I really love Tommy John's. The underwear is fantastic. The loungewear is like nothing I've ever had before. And with over 16 million pairs sold of Tommy John's men's and women's loungewear, giving the gift of Tommy John underwear and loungewear has become a holiday tradition for families all over the country. 98% of women and men love getting a gift from Tommy John. That's why Tommy John doesn't have customers. They have fanatics like me, Keith. I don't know. Have you worn Tommy John, Jeffy? You need to get some. We'll get you some.
The house
because
Tommy John.
Yeah, well, that's the way it should be. That's as it should be. During Tommy John's Black Friday sale, get 20% off site-wide at TommyJohn.com/unleashed. 20% off for a limited time only at TommyJohn.com/unleashed. Go right now. See the site for details.
Pat Gray returns.
Just got word. The Keller Youth Football Association is thinking about canceling this show because it's too good. It's just too good.
So you're listening in Keller.
Yeah.
And part of the Keller Youth Association.
Mm-hmm. You may not be able to hear it much longer.
Oh,
It's just
no.
too good. So we'll see. We'll keep you posted on that.
So have you been following the Ahmaud Arbery trial?
No.
I have not. But I just saw where they had their closing arguments.
Mm-hmm.
And the attorney in the case, in the closing arguments for the defense, I believe, Greg McMichael made making comments about Ahmaud Arbery and his toenails.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I think we have the video, right?
It was the attorney for Greg McMichael. Yeah. In the trial as she was doing her closing arguments, and we do have the clip of her defending her client.
Mm-hmm.
Turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim after the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
What? So wait, what? So you can't call him a victim because he had dirty toenails?
It was in his khaki shorts.
You're right.
No socks.
I know. And dirty
to cover his long, dirty toenails.
Yeah. That's bizarre.
Really bizarre.
With no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails.
So we can't call him a victim despite the fact he was shot dead.
Right.
For what? He went into a house that was under construction, and then he came back out. He didn't do anything to the house, right?
I feel like that was the deal.
He didn't set the house on fire.
And then these guys chased him down.
Because
is my understanding. I have not been following it, so I mean, I don't want to.
But I remember from the initial news reports
right.
that they chased him down and shot him. Now, what in the world? How can you not call that guy a victim?
Right.
Ugh, it's unbelievable. Which, by the way, you'd never get open-minded. We didn't get open-mindedness from the left on the Kyle Rittenhouse thing because they paid no attention and they don't care about any of the facts.
Well, Kyle had socks on and shoes and
to
cover up his long, dirty toenails.
I think his toenails were regular length.
I don't know.
No?
It's possible. I don't know.
What a weird world.
It sure is.
That is bizarre. Speaking of which, are you aware? Yesterday was the 22nd. So it was the anniversary of JFK being shot.
Yeah.
Here in Dallas. And nothing from JFK Jr. Still has not shown up. Now, QAnon followers are still waiting for him. And many of them showed up again at Dealey Plaza, waiting for him to show up on the anniversary.
That's awesome.
He did not. For some reason, he's being stubborn on this thing. So it was, I think, the 5th of November when they showed up the first time, the 2nd or 5th or something.
Right. Yeah.
And I postulated that, okay, here's where they made their mistake. JFK Jr. is waiting for the anniversary of his dad's death, right?
Right. Yeah, gotta be.
So be there on the 22nd, and JFK Jr. will
show
appear
up
and usher Donald Trump into the presidency. But it hasn't happened yet.
Gosh darn it.
So he tricked us again yesterday. So I don't know what
is there a
date
time
he's looking for.
War?
Maybe
something happening.
Maybe
between space and time.
It is possible. You know that the dead don't keep the same hours we do. So I don't know. They're not there at the right time of day, or I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. But dang, when you're convinced that JFK Jr. is coming back from the dead, right, and he's going to usher in Donald Trump presidency. But Donald is going to turn it over to who was going to be vice president? It was
I don't remember.
Was it JFK himself?
Might have been. I don't.
So
honestly,
he was going to retire from the presidency and make the vice president, and then he was going to go on to become King of Kings, according to QAnon. Now, many of us recognize the King of Kings to be Jesus. So Trump is not replacing him as King of Kings. I don't know if it's a lesser King of Kings thing, and they're just using the same title. I don't know how it all works. We'll have to talk to a QAnon supporter and figure this out.
But the point is that
he didn't show up.
Still a no-show.
Still a no-show for some reason. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know.
Do you think that do you personally think that there's a chance, that he shows up at some point in time?
Is there a chance he does? Sure, anything's possible, right? Yeah. I think there's a really good chance.
Okay.
Why would they be waiting for him out there at the Dealey Plaza if not? That would be silly to be standing there if JFK's not coming back.
Yeah, right.
You must have some pretty good inside information that he's coming back. Otherwise, it looks absurd at the face of it.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, it does look absurd. So you must have really quality inside info that allows you to stand there and wait. It is going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen. Yeah. So there you go. The leader of this group is Michael Brian Protzman, a Washington man who amassed a following on social media with his version of gematria, a Hebrew numerology language that we're, I'm sure, all familiar with, right? I don't have to tell you about gematria.
You do not. You do not. Fluent gematria. What is it called again?
Gematria.
Yeah, fluent in that.
Yeah, so you're a gematrian?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, if you can say it that way if you want. Go ahead.
Interpreting codes that include numbers and letters and using elements of Christianity and QAnon, his followers have come to believe that Kennedy, who died in a plane crash in 1999, will reappear in Dallas and commence a new Trump administration. Some of Protzman's followers believe President John F. Kennedy wasn't assassinated in 1963. Others believe he was, but then resurrected as a messiah shortly thereafter. What? Oof. Okay. Despite the failure of either Kennedy or other dead celebrities who were expected, oh my gosh, I didn't know this part. They were also waiting for Michael Jackson and Princess Diana to appear at the initial November 2nd rally.
Here. And they're going to reappear
that
here.
Drew hundreds of people, if you remember.
And they're going to reappear with Junior.
Yes. So it wasn't, this would be a really cool get-together.
I can understand why they were there. I wish I would have known that. I'd have been there.
Right. If I knew that Michael Jackson and Princess Di were also going to be there, I would have been there too. Because JFK Jr. is pretty cool.
Hey.
But you had Michael Jackson.
JFK Jr.
Shaman. A lot of children, the 12-year-old children. With him and Princess Diana? That is a star-studded afternoon at Dealey Plaza.
I'm surprised Elton wasn't there.
Yeah, right.
Waiting for her to show up.
Doing his 9th version of
Candle
in the Wind. We just don't have enough versions of Candle in the Wind.
We really don't.
You know?
We really don't.
Yeah. So even some of the more mainstream believers of the QAnon conspiracy theory, which is based on the premise that a cabal of liberal celebrities and politicians partake in a child sex abuse ring and will be executed upon Trump's reinstatement, think negative 48 is too fringy. So this is apparently an offshoot of QAnon called negative 48.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Not only do they believe in the celebrities and politicians that they're, doing this child pornography sex abuse ring.
Okay.
They also believe that those same celebrities and politicians eat babies.
Oh, this is the negative 48 crowd.
Yeah, they eat babies.
Oh, yeah. I have heard that. I've heard the talk of the eating babies stuff before. I don't know that I knew that it came from negative 48.
I don't know if it came from them, but they've borrowed it. If it didn't come directly from them, they've assimilated that view.
Okay.
Because Alex Jones has been throwing around the you ate babies thing for a while.
Yeah.
For quite a while. Long before I've ever heard of QAnon or negative 48. So the group is also distinct from the larger umbrella of QAnon because it has a leader able to persuade hundreds of people from across the country to come to Dallas. Protzman's followers take direction from him. Days after the initial rally, they lined up single file in Dealey Plaza, appearing to await his instructions. There is absolute behavior control and thought control. He's telling people what to do. He's having people stand in straight lines to have conversations.
This is the guy in charge of negative 48?
Yeah. He's telling people when to go outside, when to look up, when to look down. It is unquestionably the behavior of a cult leader. Oh, now, come on. Come on. You're saying these aren't mainstream views? He seems to be alluding to that, doesn't he?
Does.
Huh. Who are you to decide what is a mainstream view and what isn't?
So do we know,
Mr. Smarty Pants?
Did we know, did he say it out loud, or was it just, psychically telling them that Michael and Diana
No, he
and
said that out
Junior
loud.
was coming back? Okay.
There's another distinction,
Okay.
too, between the negative 48 group and the larger QAnon, is one that ostensibly makes Protzman's group more benign. Neither Protzman nor his followers have shown a propensity for violence. Now, when has QAnon been violent? Have they been? I'm not aware of their violent tendencies.
We're
Kooky?
led to
Yes,
believe. We're led to believe they are, right? With the
Well, yes, but I don't know that I've ever seen them, rioting, beating people.
I mean, maybe that's,
unless the Capitol, the January
Right.
6th thing was all QAnon supporters. But he continued, this feels almost like an old hippie love-in some kind of way. Again, you're diminishing what they're doing here, waiting for JFK Jr., and I'll not have it.
well,
and Michael Jackson and Princess Di.
A hippie love-in is not.
That's not a bad thing?
No.
You're okay with that description?
Yes.
Okay. It's much more about hidden truths and secret knowledge than it is about taking up arms against the government. Oh, good. Okay. That might come down the line. I really hope it doesn't. He said the group should be taken seriously, not as a threat, but as a warning for how behavior can be influenced. If you've been in Dallas for weeks waiting for JFK Jr. and Michael Jackson to come back, what do you do when you go home to your family? That's a really good question. Do you say, sorry, I was wrong? I guess I wasted 3 weeks in Dallas and no dead people showed up. Dang it! Darn! Oh, dang it! Dang! Darn it! Oh, dang! If only JFK, at least JFK had come back. He could have ushered Trump into the presidency.
Runner.
Yeah.
He was the front runner.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to tell you.
Or what if JFK Jr. didn't come, but Michael Jackson did? I'd be okay with that,
too. I would definitely be okay with that.
I'd be okay with
Princess Di.
that. Yeah, I could do without that. But
Princess Di could show up. If she shows up with one or the other, Michael or Junior, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but alone,
yeah.
I'm not waiting in the rain for that. I'm not. Maybe that's wrong of me.
Well, it is wrong of you, obviously, but
I'm sorry, I'm just not into the British royalty thing. So, I mean, would it be interesting if she came back? Yes. Not interesting enough to stand there in the rain for 3 hours.
What about if the head of whatever his name is, negative 48?
Negative 48, yeah.
What if he told you, hey?
I'd be pissed if he told me that and I'm down there in the rain and then it doesn't happen.
Right.
But if he said, well, wait till the 22nd and it will happen, then I'd wait till the 22nd.
So have we bumped it up? We haven't heard yet if we've changed the
We haven't heard yet. I don't know.
Maybe he got a new vision.
Yeah. So it's a later date.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the way it always is.
Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.